Welcome back to my channel. The topic that we are going to discuss today is semantics. Semantics is basically the branch of linguistics in which we study about the meaning of words, phrases, sentences, and how these meanings are understood into a language. Basically, the semantics is the study of literal meaning of words. Literal means dictionary meaning, direct meaning of the words. In semantics, we do not consider what are the intentions of a speaker, what is the context in which the speaker is speaking, what is the situation. In semantics, we just study about the direct or denotational or dictionary meaning of the words or sentences. Okay, the key points of semantics are it focuses on literal or dictionary meaning of language. It explains how words combine to create sentence meaning. It studies the relationship between language and the concepts or objects they represent. Means the objects that represent meaning. Okay, we do not consider what is beyond it. What can be the indirect meaning? It is concerned with meaning independent of a specific context. In semantics, we do not study about context. Okay, in pragmatics, we study about the meaning in context. Pragmatics is another branch of linguistics that we will discuss in our upcoming lectures. Okay, let's see further. Let's take an example of semantics. For example, will you stop talking? Now this is the sentence. This sentence means that the person is asking someone to please stop talking. Okay, or when is she, will she stop talking or not? Okay, but it's in depth or context and meaning can be the teacher asking the students if he can start the lecture. Okay, the meaning of this sentence depends on context in pragmatics. Okay, this meaning we will not consider in semantics. Uh, we will consider this meaning in pragmatics. Okay, so let's go further. The varieties of meaning. Okay, we will discuss about two varieties of meaning. First is linguistic meaning and other is speaker meaning. Linguistic meaning is the meaning which is expressed by linguistic expressions according to the rules of language. Okay, now this is basically the literal or denotational. Remember, linguistic meaning is basically the semantic meaning and speaker meaning is basically the pragmatics meaning. Okay, in linguistic meaning, we do not consider any intention of the speaker. We do not consider the context or situation. We just consider the vocab that is used in the sentence and the rules of grammar in this meaning. Okay. For example, can you pass the salt? The linguistic meaning is asking whether the listener is able to pass the salt. Okay. The speaker meaning will be different, which will be polite request to pass the salt, which we will further see in the video. Okay. So linguistic meaning. What do you mean by linguistic meaning? Is that meaning which is direct and denotational meaning, which is not dependent on the context. Okay. The other meaning is speaker meaning. The speaker is meaning is basically the what the speaker intends to communicate by utterance beyond the literal meaning of the words. It is not dependent on the direct meaning of the words. It is dependent on the intention of the speaker, what the speaker wants to let the reader understand or listener understand. Okay. The characteristics of speaker meaning I said it depends on the speaker's intention. Okay. It does not depend on the literal meaning of the words, but it depends upon the speaker's intentions. It is influenced by context or situation. It can be different from literal or semantic meaning. This type of meaning is studied in pragmatics, not semantics. Okay. For example, it's called in here. Now, here the literal or linguistic meaning is the temperature is low, but the speaker's meaning will be the speaker may be asking someone to close the window or turn on this heater. Okay. So let's further see what is the difference between the linguistic meaning and the speaker meaning. Now, linguistic meaning basically is the literal meaning of words or sentences. However, the speaker meaning is intended meaning of the speaker. Okay. Linguistic meaning is based on the language rules and dictionary meanings. On the other hand, the speaker meaning is based on context, intention, or situation. Linguistic meaning is studied in semantics and speaker meaning is studied in pragmatics. Linguistic meaning is context independent. On the other hand, speaker meaning is context dependent. Okay. So I hope you have understood this. Let's summarize what we studied today. So what is semantics? Semantics is basically the study of the literal or dictionary meaning of the words. Okay. We do not consider context here, nor situation or intention of the speaker. Okay. It is different from pragmatics where we consider the context. There are different varieties of meaning. First is linguistic meaning and other is speaker meaning. In linguistic meaning, we do not consider context, we just consider the literal meaning of the words. Okay. However, the speaker meaning is dependent on the intention of the speaker, what the speaker intends to communicate to the listener. It depends on the speaker's intention. It is influenced by the context or situation. The difference between linguistic meaning and speaker meaning is that the linguistic meaning is literal meaning and speaker is intended meaning. Linguistic meaning does not depend on context and it is studied in semantics. On the other hand, speaker meaning depends on the context and it is studied in pragmatics. I hope you have understood today's lecture and I hope that you like this video. Please, if you want further videos like that, subscribe to my channel, like and comment. Thank you.